Hello Instagram! Wanted to show you a little hair tutorial today. This is a really fun, easy style to do with long hair. As long as you have enough hair where you can generally braid it or pull it to the side, you'll have enough hair to do this. This is a really great way when you're a few days in and you just want to pull it back but you still want it to be a little bit down, kind of a cute way to do something quick and easy with a little bit of polish to it. So I'm not even going to mess with the top. Got my bangs pinned back and a little headband on, and that's fine. So this is something that you could do with the front kind of down, or you could kind of braid it over as well. I may make a video and more in that direction here pretty soon, but I'm just going to show you quickly a little adaptable little side style that you can do. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure hair is detangled, and then I want to wear this over my right shoulder. So I'm just taking my Denman brush, which I love for polishing and getting through long hair. I'm just gonna kind of brush everything over all the way to the right. I have a couple of tools and products that I'm gonna use for this, but it really doesn't require very much. So brushing everything over to the right. So we've got that there. I have some little rubber bands. I have my porcupine pincushion, and the product I'm using for this is Hair Story Dressed Up, which is kind of a heat protectant blowout balm, but I also like to apply it on dry extension hair. It helps to moisturize the hair and keep it nice and soft. Great to throw in before you put a braid in and sleep on it, and you'll get a nice beachy wave when you wake up in the morning. So I'm just gonna prep with a little bit of this on dry hair. A little bit of that on hands, and you just want to make sure it's all over your hands. Work it through. It'll give you a lot of shine. It smells really good. It'll help control some of those little baby flyaway strands too. There we go. Step 2. This is really easy. Just gonna take one little clear rubber band. There we go. I don't want it to be like up here, like, you know, 80s style cheerleader hair, obviously. So we want to keep this kind of down at the nape of the neck. So behind the ear, make sure we got all the baby hairs. And then just pull the tail. And with these guys, there we go. Step 1, pull the hair into that low side pony. Easy, easy. So this is something that I teach my clients quite a bit. You just want to make sure that you cover up your bands. It looks a lot more clean and polished that way. If I were to cover this band in some hair right now, I could just leave it. It would look cute as a side pony. But I'm going to do one more step after this. So to cover it, I'm pulling out a long piece of hair. A fun variation on this is you can braid it and do a little braid wrap too, and that's a cute way if you just want to do something simple. Little braid wrap and then leave it loose. So I'm just taking this hair and almost creating a new ponytail holder out of hair. I'm leaving a tiny tail in the end, then I'm going to take my bobby pin. So key point with bobby pins that I tell everybody is don't open them. If you open it to get it through more hair, there's going to be too much hair in the pin and the pin's going to pop out. So I'm just pushing that pin straight up into my hair, and we have a little braid wrap. There we go, a little bit here. So next step, I'm just gonna do a little braid. And this can be any kind of braid that you're comfortable with, that you like. And when you divide the hair, you'll see that like I've got some shorter stuff. I just wanna make sure you have roughly the same amount and the same lengths on each side before you get started. So I'm gonna do a fishtail braid. Starts with 2 strands, doesn't have to be crazy intricate. This tends to be a little bit of a blind spot for people. They look so delicate. If you do tiny sections, you can get a herringbone. Tiny, very even sections, and it's just this ridiculously complicated looking thing. I actually like to variegate the size of the strands that I use. So some large, some small, and it gives it a really rustic look, kind of more Pinteresty for lack of better terminology. So I'm just pulling a piece off the side of the braid, pulling it over the top, and adding it to the strand in the other hand on the inside. And then you do the opposite. Pull from the outside of the right hand, inside of the left, outside of the left, inside of the right. And you can see I'm varying the widths of the strands I'm taking. So I'm doing some that are kind of chunky and some that are a little bit littler, and you get a nice bit of variation. For this, you don't want to keep the braid too tight. I want to be able to fluff the scallops and the sides out a tiny bit, and that's going to make it look a little bigger, fluffier, more organic. So if you're dealing with hair that's a little on the skinny side, you definitely want to leave it a bit loose. Throw some dry shampoo in there, some hairspray, so you can fluff that hair out without it falling out of the braid. If you've got extensions in, yeah, I've got my NBRN, gives me a bit of extra length. I've got like 4 to 5 extra inches, but a lot more density. So you can see my braid is already quite fluffy, but I want it fluffier. So I'll show you how to do that here. So we just want to leave a little tail down at the end, and then you can always refresh that and add a little bit more braid to it if it feels a little loose down there for you. So I've got my braid. So to scallop or pancake the braid out a little bit, let's see, I'm just gonna squish the braid a little bit to kind of loosen it up a tiny bit. I got a little straggler. If you have a little straggler, no problem. Just make a little break in the back like that and pull it through, and then just kind of tuck it. We want this to be a bit messy anyway, it's okay. So I'm just really gently gonna fluff out the sides. You wanna start on one side, work from the bottom to the top, and then go to the other side. Don't pull too much, because you'll end up pulling a little bit too much out. You'll get little pieces sticking out. And if you like that, that's cool too. So I'm just gonna go back to my first side, fluff it up a little bit, and then you just repeat this until you have the level of pancakeness, scallops that you want. There we go. I'm just gonna check, I have a couple little babies popping out, so we'll just stick them back in. And there you go, you have a cute little side pony braid. I'm just gonna take another of these. And I'm all right with that little bit of hair at the ends there. I don't want to add a little bit more braid. So, guy's being tricky, huh? That's okay. So if you have a big one that pops out, no problem, just sort of re-weave it in. We want this to look a bit rustic. So there you go, you have a cute little side pony braid. At this point, you could leave this in, you could just leave it over your shoulder like that, you could do something like this in the back. This is also a great way to create a really cool side bun or side chignon if you're going to an event or something like that. You would just take your braid and then kind of bun it up in here. And I would pin that against the head and take care of any little flyaways there, but you could do a really cute little side style that way as well. I love braids like this because they're so versatile. You could leave it braided, you can pull it up into something else. Like you could really, really rough it up too, and maybe do a band in the center and do another wrap or something like that. So this is just a fun way to pull your hair over to the side, etc. Really, really easy to do. You could also do 2 separate braids, and then you can kind of twist them together and create kind of a really cool little situation. So yeah, super versatile. Again, just pulling everything to the side using a clear pony to secure the hair over here, and then doing a braid wrap in a pin on this side. And if you just want to wear it down like a loose pony, super cute too. It keeps it out of your way. Key point, don't have it up too high or you're gonna look like that girl from Clueless from the 90s. So just a little bit more below the nape behind your ear. So hope you enjoyed that. Easy little style. Have a great day.